draft here for this game number 3. And you can already see across the board, right? It's going to be ONIC Esports here on the blue side, Falcon Esports on the red. Notice, right? Falcon Esports, they're tired of Keyboy and the Kaja. They're going to go ahead and ban that out. And Ken's decided, you know what? I'm not going to play this Fanny right now. So first pick coming out, Trex, it's looking like the Wanwan.
ONIC did not waste a second with that, and it seems like they're always prepared for this. They lock in the Wanwan. Yes, Falcon does get the glue in return. Now, the glue did do good last game in the hands of ONIC, but can Falcon make it work as well here? I like the Kaja ban. I like them kind of targeting here, but once again, I'm really starting to question because ONIC, they have so much depth to them, and it's just, I don't know if the target bans are going to be enough to take them out in Game 3.
Because both that statement can also be applied for both of these teams, right? So ONIC Esports, they also need a way to figure out how they're going to protect this Wanwan in the gold lane. Because Wanwan's great and all, but throughout the entirety of the last meta up until now, Wanwan's been countered a lot, and she's also been nerfed, right? So Falcon still has a possibility to pick up someone like the Irithel to go against her in lane. There's also a Diggy if they want to go that route. But with the Pharsa being picked up, it also eliminates the range gap that Wanwan so severely lacks. And we see this happening a lot. And now ONIC Esports, they picked up the Grok as well as the Hayabusa once again.
Oh, solid choices here for ONIC Esports. The Grok, we've seen him kind of played in different ways, whether as a side lane or as a roamer here. And at the same time, I mean, for Falcon Esports, I'm wondering too, right? Do they lock in what you were saying earlier, Eterna? Do they lock in a traditional marksman this time for the gold lane to allow ZipX to actually have that physical damage in this department? Because you've already got quite a bit of burst, right? You've got that Pharsa locked in here. You can work around that and the glue. So if you want to go with a traditional matchup, maybe 1-1 Beatrix is open. You could still go with that. Okay, hold on. It's going to be Natalia that we were talking about earlier from Naomi. This is a big pickup here, and we first saw this actually do work for them back in MSC, and it's very deadly. And even in the group stages, I believe it was just picked once. And this is a big pickup for Falcon Esports to start on the right foot for game number 3 here, Travis.
Not only that, but kind of a comfort pick too. I know that they like this pick, and with that could be the answer to this one. It could possibly be the answer to finally being able to invade a little bit early and putting pressure on to Kyrie, because that's something that we wanted them to do from the very beginning. It was in some of their key points, some of their win conditions here, and they haven't been able to succeed with it, though Boots does seem to have a bit of a quote here, Turna.
Yeah, we want to meet Echo in the playoffs because we're partners in scrims and we want to try them in the tournament, and that actually might happen, right? If they're able to get this point against Falcon, if Echo wins their next matchup, they're going to meet up. So they both have a lot in store for them in the next few matches, but right now the Ling is going to be taken away from Ken.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. I was wondering if they wanted to ban out the Irithel, to be honest, here in the second phase.
I think at this point, if you're ONIC Esports, you just let those options open, right? Now, you could focus on a marksman here, but going with the way that the previous game went, where we saw Falcon Esports try to play the Harith in the gold lane, honestly, you're happy to work around it. You do have that 1-1. You should be fine. We know they can play around that. So on the flip side, Falcon Esports still focusing on those roamer options, right? They took out the Katita, the Katita. They don't want to deal with the burst. Again, the Kaja was taken out, and now you have Rafaela taken out as well, Trex.
Yeah, so my guess is since they're focusing on this roamer, they're really expecting that Grok to go into the EXP lane possibly, right? They're expecting it to maybe be something to go up against Yellow Flash here, but once again, ONIC keeps themselves flexible here. They can keep that in the mid as their roamer, or they can flex it over. A lot of options as well. One problem that the Pharsa, we mentioned earlier, a lot of damage, yes, a lot of high ground, but they immediately pick up this Grok and the Hayabusa, two heroes that can close that distance quickly, right? Can get the knockups, stop the feathered airstrike, things of that nature. Now, first pick coming into the second phase, there is that Irithel Eterna.
Yeah, expected. It's the safest thing that they can go about. And the one thing that I wanted to mention about the Rafaela ban is this Rafaela is known to be quote-unquote counter towards the Natalia, because her first ability can open up vision to where the Natalia is, even though she's in that hidden ability, right? So with the Irrital being picked up, already a winning lane, depending of course back again onto the execution, but this is what I wanted to mention. The Matilda and the Lily are going to be picked up, and that is immense wave clear in that mid side, right? So much wave clear from even just the Lily herself. You have the addition of the Matilda as well, and they have really good mobility to top it all off.
This is tough because this is very reminiscent of game number 1's draft in a way that you have a lot of tools here for ONIC Esports to bait out the ultimates or even just abilities, battle spells, whatever, from Falcon Esports. And not to mention the insane amount of mobility you have to get away or initiate. So this is going to be troublesome for Falcon Esports, but they're going to lock it in here with this Martiz pick. So it's kind of, again, it's a trade. Now this should, yeah, it's going to be Ken taking Martiz in the jungle here, looking to focus on those objectives, work around all that CC thrown at him too. Trex, how are you feeling about the draft?
I mean, I feel like Falcon finally getting some comfort picks, right? We saw the Martiz, we saw how well Ken did on that in the head-to-head. We're also, we know they like the Natalia.
Yeah.
So it's just, now that it's match point, now that it's game 3, we have to throw some things to a side, put in a good composition, but also just get fun with it. Do the heroes that we want to do, that we know we play well with, and hopefully they can take us to a game 4 with it.
Well, we're going to find out here as we get a last look at both drafts. You can already hear the crowd getting charged up with the drums. ONIC Esports charging up as well as we jump into a match point here. ONIC Esports versus Falcon. Can Falcon Esports prolong the series here? They've got their work cut out for them, but let's see how they do.
Will ONIC be able to redeem themselves from their last meetup with their X Factor? Or will the Falcons still remain the victors of the sky? The answer is going to be known here right now. As like we mentioned before, right? The problem is ONIC Esports, they have a really, really good early game, but because Naomi is on the Natalia, they are going to be able to pressure in terms of that damage.
I mean, already, right? Look at this. Look how aggressive Kyrie is on the Hayabusa, right? He's bobbing and weaving everywhere. Justin,
oh, the flicker comes in. Kyrie goes down. First blood for the first game in 3. Falcon picking that up.
Okay, big pickup, right? I was going to go into the point that with this lineup from Falcon Esports specifically, if you can put a chokehold here on Kyrie, not allow him to snowball on this Hayabusa, that's the best case scenario for you in step 1.
Oh.
Blue buff still goes to Kyrie.
Yeah, he's still able to get that purple buff. So that's a small win for ONIC Esports right now with the amount of pressure that's already been given onto them. But look at this. Naomi still opening up so much vision for his team. And Falcon going to be leading here in this early game.
This is tough because if you're Naomi, right, and you're trying to work around pretty much the poke that ONIC Esports has, you do have execute available to you, right? But if you can find picks early on, especially with a high-end dry, this should snowball Falcon Esports. Now, they already got a 1K gold lead. It's still too early in the game, though. But this lead is something that they can utilize and work around with really well, especially in just a couple seconds. First turtle's going to come up here. They should be in a good position. I mean, even for Ken, as he goes and gets his buffs, he just got his purple. You're going to see him transition now. So as long as no one goes down, Kyrie doesn't have that level 4 yet. It's safer if he just farms up, gives up that first turtle of the game, and works from there. So Falcon, obviously in a good position so far early game.
Right now, the lanes are important, right? I mean, we mentioned that mid side. Obviously, in that gold lane, the Irrital is going to have a little bit of an edge, especially until CW gets to level 4, which now already is. But now, Falcon going to go pressure Sans here.
Most definitely. Feathered Airstrike does come back. Sans, Black Shoes back into it, but this should be the first turtle for the side of Falcon. It is Ken securing it. And as you said, I mean, Kyrie didn't, you don't have to force it. Yes, they're a little bit behind, but I think that maybe they feel confident enough to kind of surrender that over. But this time, Falcon is starting to get that snowball factor. We have seen how well Martiz did in the past game when you get a kill early on, and this is what Falcon is going to keep on doing, pressuring in.
I think this is, again, best case scenario here. The question earlier was, hold on, Naomi.
Very, very low. Kyrie wants to find it, but Justin comes in the nick of time.
So back to it, right? The question was, can Falcon Esports go for a reverse sweep? They're off to the right step, at least. Now in the bottom lane, putting pressure still here. Keyboy, though, to help CW, but Ken might be looking for a play.
Comes from the backside, locks on, but in comes Circling Eagle. Keyboy does get on to Ken. Ken has enough CC though to stop it. Keyboy forced to flicker away. Justin and Zipex repositioning. Falcon not forcing, but Kyrie trying to find a little bit of play in the mid lane. Cannot do it onto Naomi there. Falcon seems to be controlling the map a bit now.
Naomi's having so much fun right now, right? He's been able to do so much for his team, and look at this, once again going in.
Finally gonna find it possibly, uses the execute, Kyrie goes down, that is 0-2 for Kyrie, a rough start for ONIC.
Well, I mean, again, going back to it, the action's not done yet, correct.
Justin does use that feathered airstrike, Ken takes the tower, Keyboy forced to flicker away, and Falcon just continues to pressure in.
Wow, 2,800 gold lead here for Falcon here in the 4th minute. And that's a huge amount of gold taken by them. And very expected right now, even the matchup in the EXP lane that Grok should have won, per se. I mean, people like to say like Glue has been really overpowered, but Grok is able to just balance things out and even perhaps win that matchup. Even then, Yellow Flash is still dominating in that lane. And that was one of the keys to victory for ONIC Esports. But in the mid side,
oh, a lot of damage on Sans there. Sans does use the black shoes to save himself. Kyrie trying to look for something, but the damage just isn't quite there yet. Does find Justin, actually. Wow. So a nice play. Even at 1, 2, and 0, still able to get those kills. Keyboy now trying to force the engage. ONIC just want their purple buff, but Falcon doesn't want to give it over just yet. Boots holding down the front side as Yellow Flash also re-engages, gets the immobilized onto Keyboy. Yellow Flash moving in, trying to get this all onto someone, trying to search. Falcon pushes the blue buff away. Ken picks it up, but Kyrie finds Zipex. In comes the crossbow of Tang, but not enough damage onto Yellow Flash just yet. Keyboy looking low, goes down. Ken finds it. Yellow Flash now trying to lock onto Boots here. Boots trying to get away, but just can't. The Decimation comes in, and double kill happens for Ken. That is a 2-for-1 trade over the side of Falcon.
2-for-1 trade, but remember, Kyrie didn't have his retribution up, so perhaps Kyrie is going to be able to steal this buff, this turtle away from Ken because he was forced to use it earlier. But look at this, already going in once again.
Oh, Naomi's going to get away from that somehow, some way. And with that, this turtle should go to the side of Ken. It does. Kyrie forced to go back to base here.
This is spicy, right? I mean, Falcon Esports not letting up here, having a nice, comfortable lead. And this time, it's crazy. They're putting the focus on Kyrie, making it hard for him, but still, he's managed to pick up 2 kills, right? But objectively, gold-wise and economy, Ken's got control. He's even working on that orange buff now. Going to be able to grab that and still move around here. So Falcon Esports not letting up. Great position for this game here. And even, I mean, looking into these later team fights, ONIC Esports really has to find their moments correctly, right? And that is going to be either on Boots here, or even if they can, bait out some ultimates using Sans Lilia with those black shoes and get out of there with Keyboy, with that guiding wind. If they can, that could set themselves up, even despite that gold lead that Falcon Esports has.
This is the problem, right? Because when we're looking at the emblems, the Grok is actually Weapon Master, so he's definitely building for damage. And if he is building for damage, ONIC Esports, they don't necessarily have someone to be able to soak in that initial damage that Falcon already has. I mean, look at this. Nobody is able to stop that aggression coming in from Falcon.
What I will say, though, is ONIC is still trying to make some of these fights happen, and as we're talking about it, that airstrike comes down. CW goes down as well. Ken with the decimation onto Keyboy. That's a killing spree, ladies and gentlemen. Ken is on a roll. 3-0-1.
Solid choice, right? Falcon Esports, they know that they have this lead, right? They can punish ONIC Esports where they want. And it's good that you pointed it out, you know, it's a Weapon Master here emblem on Boots. Naomi, though, just going to say hi to Kyrie and goes back. But still, map control in favor for Falcon Esports. Now, the thing is Weapon Mastery Grok, right? We've seen both side lane Groks, either high and dry Weapon Mastery. What works better? That's up to the team here. But now the onslaught in the mid lane, it might be Boots looking for a setup.
CW is going to be able to get that crossbow of Tang. Down goes Ken. Tries to lock on to Zipex. Does not get the finish, though, but still, it's a 1-for-0 trade. And even though ONIC is back 3K gold, they're still taking these fights. They still are confident in their composition and their team skirmishes.
They need to be careful, right? Because as long as Zipex is still up and about, he already has Berserker Fury for all they care, right? So the penetration is there. You can feel the critical damage starting to hit as well, and that was perfectly timed before they went in for that team fight in that top side where CW got taken down. And if they keep this up, Falcon gonna have a better chance at snowballing into that late game, despite Boots being Weapon Master, and he also scales, but him compared to Zipex in the grand scheme of things, definitely Zipex is going to win it out.
I mean, all Boots has to do is get one Holy Mary wild charge, right? If he can find that, and especially if he finds Zipex, that's going to be crucial here because that's the target, right? Naomi 2 is something that they have to worry about, but now...
Oh, Ken taking a lot of damage. Crossbow Tang does finish it off. Justin trying to find something here, uses that. Oh my god! Justin and Zipex annihilated with a beautiful wild charge. Boots will pay the price, but what a trade. This is going to give them a bit of advantage over this Lord. Falcon forced to readjust here.
Can I just say, that's what he had to do. He did it.
Most definitely, but now Yellow Flash maybe trying to salvage something, but he's all alone against the world right now. Kyrie, the Sky King, gonna be able to find this Lord as Falcon needs to think about it, but it's still not over yet, Eterna.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's crazy, right? Because usually when we're casting, it's the caster curse, but this is the exact opposite. Nice was like, this is what he needs, they get it, and the trade was so worth it, right? 1 for 2. Zipex being one of them, that's the only thing that Boots needs to do right now. And on top of that, the gold lead that Falcon had in that early game is now starting to go back and forth. And ONIC Esports, they're coming back into the game. As Kyrie has also picked up that penetration item. See, you can see here, the Malefic Roar already taken Hunter Strike for additional movement speed. So he has what he needs in his kit. But once again, he needs to be careful because if we look at Iritel, she also is building up to that third item. Berserker Fury already, Wind Talker as well, attack speed, crit, so scary. You need to be able to take him out if ONIC Esports wants to stay relevant in this game.
You know what's going to be scary is when we see Boots get that BOD, right? He's almost to that Blade of Despair. As I said it, I'm on fire here. He picks it up, and also, you've also got that Wind of Nature available to you. So you can see just how confident ONIC Esports here in looking for picks, looking for team fights. Now it's them that want to force these fights. Again, just minutes ago, Falcon Esports had what, a 3K, 4K gold lead at some point. ONIC Esports completely flipping it around, and now they're in the driver's seat of this game.
And this is bad. Zipex will go down. Kyrie finds it. Gonna be able to move out. Naomi looking for Sans here. Can they finally get a kill? Naomi just not able to finish the job, and that has been the story so far. Naomi sitting at 1-0-4, having a bit of trouble, but the Lord is coming up to the top side right now. CW, Boots, and Keyboy want to try to hold down the front line as Yellow Flash and Ken want to defend. Lord does get stopped by the wall. They're gonna try to stall here. A very nice play. Lord will connect onto this inhibitor soon. Justin uses the Feathered Airstrike. CW can't engage just yet. They should be able to lock onto this Lord here. CW moving on, moving back. They took something, but not an inhibitor just yet. Naomi on the backside, gonna get found. Kyrie picks it up.
Wow.
Now onto the mid. They decide to possibly push here, but I think they're gonna readjust, eat up the jungle, and wait for Falcon to come out.
Man, and just like that, I mean, again, it's a tough situation for Falcon Esports to be in here. ONIC Esports still putting the pressure in the mid side. They might be looking to end the game here, but still, the defense from Falcon.
Hold on, here comes Kyrie. Sans also holding the line. CW does not want to let up. They want to move on to these towers more and more. They want to keep the pressure here. ONIC moving back onto this orange buff, maybe wanting to wait because Lord comes up in 20 seconds, and Falcon may not be able to contest for it, but I feel like at this point, they have to. This could be do or die for Falcon. It's match point and Lord up. Will they try to steal it?
You're right.
Tough to be in. I mean, ONIC Esports, nice comfortable gold lead. Everything that just happened there in the past couple of minutes, quite back and forth here. Can Falcon Esports actually still contest this Lord?
That's the question. They need to be able to protect the Zipex, right? That's all you need. The damage is there already. She has her 4 items, but you need to be able to protect her. I mean, at this point, Zipex really needs that Wind of Nature to try and alleviate the pressure that Kyrie can possibly have. But there you go.
Kyrie moves on to Zipex here. Boots with the wild charge. Down Zipex goes. Justin forced to readjust, but Sans finds him anyways. Now Naomi's all alone. Can't connect on to Sans. Forced to try to dash. CW's not going to let that go.
No.
Yellow Flash may just be next. Caught in the middle of them all. Can't use the ult. Crossbow Tang goes down, and so does Yellow Flash. Ken all alone. Now they're going to move on to this tower. One wave coming down the mid. This is match point. Falcon on the ropes. Will ONIC finish this here? Ken's going to try to clear these waves. Can he do it? Gonna try to make it, but I don't think they can. Ken goes down, and ONIC takes the game. Some convictions are so strong, the world must break to hold them. And today, Falcon is part of that breaking. Falcon will move down to the lower bracket, and ONIC Esports, GG, well played. You will move forward.
Today, Falcon's wings have been clipped by the King of the Skies themselves. A 3-0, so clean, so wonderful to see. As you're right, Falcon, they're going to drop to the lower bracket, but remember, it's not going to be an easy run for ONIC Esports as well, because they are going to be either going against Echo or Todak, if I'm not mistaken. Team Hack, the Malaysian representative. So their journey is not over, but congratulations to ONIC Esports from Indonesia.
Man, oh man, they had, I mean, the crowd, the buff was there. And who would have thought a sweep, right? I mean, it was a tough matchup for Falcon Esports, but still, even when they had